Princess Peach has always been one of the most important elements of the Mario series. She's the reason for it all. And sure, they've been moving away more from the whole damsel in distress role than the last decade. I mean, they gave her a whole movie. But I didn't stutter. They didn't title it the Peachy movie, but come on, she is the hero in that movie. They even changed her face of the cover of this game that we're talking about today to match the movie. I saw what you did, Nintendo. When this game was first announced, I had trouble really understanding what it was supposed to be. Because it seemed so stupidly simple, I couldn't believe this was all it was to it. I felt Nintendo might have disrespected our Royal Highness by making something looking so simple and empty. As a self-proclaimed grown-ass man, I knew this game wasn't targeted for me. But as someone who's working on towards being a connoisseur of video games, I have to widen my horizons and experiences by playing all types of games. Not only because I like to play everything, but also it can't all just be blood, guts, and headshots. Plus, Peachy's kinda awesome, man, so this should be great. I know it's been a while since this game came out, but this new console got me thinking whether or not we will ever see another Peachy solo game in the future. So let's see if my intuition is correct about this game. Let's take a look at Princess Peach Showtime. In Showtime, Toad, the head slave, gets a flyer for a play at the Sparkle Theater. Peachy, seeing the opportunity to hire more help, decides to go. As they arrive, an evil sorceress that looks like a rejected concept art from Balan Wonderworld appears with her crew and decides to take over the theater. And in the process, Peachy loses her crown. Then Stella, who's the theater's guardian, appears and decides to team up with Peach to restore the theater. And you do so by playing the lead roles in plays. Rid the evil from the play and take down Grape over here. Yeah, that's not me making a joke. Its name is Grape. Come on, Nintendo, could you try? So the theater lobby serves as your little hub world. You can go up the theater once you clear all the plays from the level and collect enough gems to move forward. Gems are hiding in the plays and are rewarded to you once you do things within the play like save a feat or pose in the light to reveal secret areas, stuff like that. These are the Theats, who are basically just less important sparklers, I guess. They kind of look like Pikmin concept art too. The game doesn't really ask for many gems to proceed to the next level, but there are quite a few if you want to collect them all. There are a total of 235 sparkle gems. There are also ribbons that if you find, this food gives you stuff in each level. And if you manage to get all of these, all you get is really a picture. This gives you some sort of replayability, I guess, but it just really doesn't feel worth it. So there is a shop to customize Peachy and Stella a bit. This is where you spend your coins at. I just wish you could do the same with the ensembles themselves, just customize those a little bit more. So default Peach on her own uses Stella's ribbon to hit enemies or to help out feats, reveal hidden things, and stuff like that. But what really annoyed me about default Peach is that she doesn't float. Other than summoning turnips and exploiting toads, literally using them as shields, what other abilities is Peachy known for? Floating. Without that, she's not really special. She's just kind of a vessel. Her attacks here are technically Stella. She's just twirling. Give her some ability of her own, Nintendo. Come on. I know, it just felt like something so simple that could have been added and used for puzzles and stuff like that, and it just wasn't. It just felt so natural to me every time I jumped to hold down the 8 button in hopes that she would float. Instead, I would see her just lose a battle versus gravity every time. Maybe because they gave her a bunch of abilities with the ensembles, they just decided not to make her float. I don't know, I just find it kind of annoying. I really wanted her to float for some reason. There are 10 different ensembles, which sounds like a lot, but each one only has 2 to 3 abilities that really limit what you can do while in that ensemble. And in a very Mega Man way, you can access any play from the floor in any order you want, which is pretty cool. The sword fighter moves pretty swiftly. It feels good to hit fools. It controls nicely with the direction of the strikes. She can up strike and she can also counterattack that slows everything down. Ninja Peach moves very nicely and smooth as well. She's fast, she can jump on walls, she can hide in grass, and I like how much these stages move around. It's very interactive. Cowgirl Peach was also pretty cool. She has a lasso and can throw stuff with it, but most of her levels are spent chasing stuff on a horsey, which is actually kind of fun. Then we have the Baker Peach, the Patisserie Peach. Nah, this one's not it. She doesn't do much. I mean, she bakes. So you tap a button and try to stop at the right time to bake cookies and decorate stuff that are basically already baked in a mediocre Mario Party-like minigame. Hated this one. Secret Agent Spy Peach was kind of cool. She's got a hook shot to grapple around the level, and she can also hack to open doors and stuff. She also has chase scenes using her glider, which spices up these type of plays. There are a lot of chase scenes in this game. The Detective Pikachu one was super lame to me. It quickly became boring. You just move along the level investigating things that get stolen or whatever. Just talk to everybody, read what they say, and they basically give you the answers. Peachy has this Ace Attorney objection ability, and if you object the wrong thing, you lose a heart. It's just way too simple and very, very, very slow. Figure skated Peach was way better. She obviously skates around the level, spinning and jumping, and doing this right on the snowflake gives you stuff. There's a musical number and occasional chases once again. Mermaid Peach was mermaid, a singing mermaid that controls fish. Really, Nintendo? Come on, that's basically it. Moving on to Mega Man Peach, which is what they should have called it instead of this Mighty Number 9 reference. Whether you did it on purpose or not, Nintendo, again, come on. She's super strong, she dashes around and picks up stuff and chucks it. She also flies in some, once again, chase segments. But something is missing from this ability, and I know what it is. No other ensemble has any sort of blaster, so that would have been cool. I don't know why, it feels like they really refuse to make things cool sometimes. Oh, what, that's too close to being Mega Man? You called her Mighty. Come on, Nintendo. Kung Fu Peach is top tier. Punching, kicking, whooping ass. She could take on a bunch of fools at once, and she's not bad on a pole.
Somebody come get her, she dancing like a street.
Where she's swinging and hitting enemies. There are also different kinds of time events. I like that one. I think I like most of the ensembles. Sword Fighter, Ninja, and Kung Fu, of course, being the top ones. The ones I didn't like, I really didn't like. Get the Baker one the F out of here. I'd rather buy my baked goods at a gas station than have to wait for Peachy to make them from scratch in a half-baked Mario Party minigame. The detective one can object all she wants, but she better follow the baker out of here too. And the rest of them are just okay. They're very mid. I would have taken those two out and added more attacks and abilities to the rest of them and maybe give them like an extra player or two. But maybe because they are too similar, they felt the need to spice it up by adding these two that aren't really fighting centric, just to give you something else to do instead of just whooping all kind of ass. But I just wasn't a fan of these. The game is super easy. Like too easy. I know 30-year-old man children isn't the target demographic for this game, and maybe, just maybe, it was targeted for kids, but according to its cover, it's rated E10+. So it's not for babies, and the difficulty definitely feels like it's for younger kids. Peachy gets 5 hearts, and you can even add a heart charm that adds 3 more if you find it too hard. Of course, no extra hearts for me. But if you happen to die more than a few times, the game makes it even easier by just completely removing what killed you. I found this during some research. Yeah, research. I did some research and I found that out. That's what happened. They charge you 10 coins to revive at a checkpoint, so there's no lives. You get 2 levels per ensemble, plus the Sparkler level featuring a boss. Of course, Nintendo rarely misses on their boss fights, and these are no exception. Regardless of the character you use, even the Baker one, the fights get a bit thrilling, I'm not gonna lie. They're actually really fun. They are creative enough within the limits of the game. They're just really, really entertaining. I'm willing to say that they're best part of the game for me. Enemies change to fit the plays, and there's enough variety to not feel super stale and boring. The level design is okay. I like the whole being in a play thing. The music is great, like all Nintendo music is, and they did cool stuff sometimes with the 2D perspective, changing the camera. But my biggest issue with this game is that just when it starts to get fun, the level ends, or you get interrupted by a long cutscene. You don't get a chance to do much of the cool stuff for so long. The pace of the game is horrible. You're in the groove, you're in a chase, you're in a fight. Before you know it, it's just over. It's like they chose flash over fun. And the game is super flashy and it looks pretty good minus some choppy moments. But even with those choppy moments, I can't really complain about the visuals that much. But they focused more on that than giving us actual fun gameplay, which is kind of disappointing. There are rehearsal challenges where you must take down a certain amount of enemies within the time limit. And when you beat the game, you unlock boss challenges where you face the bosses again with challenges. You can also decorate the theater by spending gems at the shop, but I found it kind of lame that this happens only after you beat the game. Would have made more sense to be able to do that as you go up the levels. Princess Peach Showtime just felt very empty to me in comparison to other Mario Universe games. Maybe it was Nintendo rushing the developer Goodfield to capitalize on the movie's success. I don't know, because Goodfield has a good track record, putting out fun, beautiful, creative games in the Kirby's Epic Yarn and the last 2 Yoshi platformers, Woolly and Crafted World. I like the Kirby/Mega Man mechanic of having different costumes that suit the levels and the freedom of picking any play as you go. But I can also see why people call this just another Kirby game. That's why it feels like Peachy didn't get the full attention that she deserves from Nintendo. And they kind of just gave us the lease with this, which is what they've been doing a lot. I really don't understand Nintendo sometimes. I don't know if it's a cultural philosophy thing, the way they see video games as like little arcade games in a way. I feel like there's a disconnect there because most of the time it feels like they give us the bare bones of games. And that kind of sucks. Even if you look back to Princess Peach's previous game, that's much more meaty and there's way more to it. I just hope we don't have to wait another 20 years to get another Princess Peach solo game that truly explores a lot more of what that character can do. But let me know your thoughts on Princess Peach Showtime. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Any and all thoughts, let me know down in the comments. And when you're down there, if you could like and subscribe to the channel, that would be great. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to always and forever, you do you.